good, loves? Welcome back to another video, and I'm just gonna jump right into it with some of the ways that my ADHD affects me on a daily basis. Number one, sometimes I think too fast for myself. So I'll be thinking of this brilliant like YouTube idea, and then all of a sudden like I'm getting through it, I'm like, yeah, that sounds really good, and then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna plan it out, and then by the time I go get my journal and everything, I basically forgot what it was, and I get really upset about that because like it was genius, you know. Or like I'll start writing it and then I forget the rest of it. I'm like, well, I'm gonna give up on this because now I have no idea what I'm doing. Or sometimes I'm writing in my journal and I'm like thinking about something I'm talking to myself with, and I'm writing, and my brain is just too quick for my hand, and my hand will start cramping up, and I'm just like trying to finish, and yeah. Another thing is sometimes I focus too much, like too much. Or other times, not at all. Okay, I think it's time for lunch. There's rarely in-betweens. Another thing is I get overstimulated really easily. Okay, what's on the agenda today? Okay, rescheduling the appointment. Reschedule. Which ends up with me getting frustrated also pretty easily. Another thing is bad memory, very bad memory. I will forget things I did yesterday, and I also don't remember basically any of the schools I used to go to as a child. And sometimes people like, you know, come up to me or text me and they're like, hey, do you remember me from da 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 da? I'm like, no, but nice to meet you. Oh, that was a good movie. Wait, what was the name of the movie I was just watching? What was I doing? Looking for a movie, I guess. This one actually looks interesting. Hell yeah. Another one is getting paralyzed in thought and then feeling extremely guilty about wasting that time after. I'll start with the kitchen. One of the most embarrassing ones is that I interrupt people a lot, because if something comes up in my head, I get super excited and I can't help myself but to say it. And then I also know if I'm like, wait, I try to be patient, I really do, but sometimes when they're taking too long, I'm like, I need to say this right now or I'm going to forget, because I feel like it's important. Heard of manifestation? I mean, I've heard of it in a podcast maybe some time ago, but okay, if I don't say this right now, I'm going to forget in 13. You know that last job I had with the bartending at the club? Yeah, I do remember you. I swear I manifested it because I wrote down a whole script thing of the exact type of job I wanted, and that was that job, and I did not look for it. I got a most of these symptoms or things that I've kind of dealt with were way worse before. I've kind of found a lot of ways to manage a lot of that, and now I feel like I'm able to get through it a lot better. It's still there, you know, it's not like disappeared or whatever, but it's a lot easier to handle and to deal with. Basically what this video is going to be me sharing the coping mechanisms that I've kind of developed to handle my ADHD in hopes that maybe it can also help you. For one of my favorites is pre-planning. Since I get super overwhelmed by just any daily tasks in life, I tend to sit and think a lot. So I started learning how to take advantage of that time where I sit and think and just get paralyzed in thought, to just grab a journal and a pencil, or you can grab a tablet, or you can grab your phone, or you can get a marker board, whatever feels more comfortable for you. Just grab that and start writing everything that you feel like is overwhelming you. And if it's easier, either start planning it out while you're thinking about it, like what steps you're gonna take, or if it's too much, just write it all down and then go to a whole nother another page and break it down into steps, what you're gonna do first to what you're gonna do last. Second coping mechanism that I have developed is to stare at the ceiling. I know it sounds weird, but I mean it. Like, just lay down as soon as you wake up and just stare at the ceiling. Do it for about 10 minutes and just let your brain think of whatever it wants to think of. I don't know why, but it's, I guess, in a way like meditation or something. But for me, it's like as soon as I wake up frustrated or like already stressed. And so when I just lay there and think, it kind of helps me calm down and like really prepare myself without the whole looking at any messes, looking at what has to be done, just like getting myself together before the day starts. And for some reason that has helped me have way more productivity throughout my days, just doing that little thing, spending those 10 extra minutes in bed. I would kind of imagine it like letting a really old computer boot up before you start messing with it, or it'll, you know, start glitching out, you know. Number 3, practicing mindfulness. That is a game changer. That is the thing that has separated this past year with the years before. I didn't used to practice mindfulness, but I've realized just how helpful it has been to my mental health and to my ADHD. Basically what being mindful kind of is just to be present and to kind of be aware of what's going on around you without any feelings or thoughts attached to it, just kind of being aware. For someone who kind of tends to let their thoughts run away from them and then gets burned out before they even start a task, it's been really, really helpful for me. There's quite a few ways that you can kind of go about practicing mindfulness. Number 1, journaling. That's kind of one of the things I've been doing. I don't do it every day, but when I have the time and I'm just like really overwhelmed or need kind of a reminder to come back to earth, that's what I will do. Journaling is like my favorite way of taking my thoughts and organizing them, since they're all scrambled up in there all the time, or having like a one-on-one conversation with myself, because I'm one of the smartest people I know. So, and it also really helps with memory. I've noticed that writing little things down here and there will make my memory connect to that and kind of help me remember that same day instead of just that one little thing I wrote down. Another thing you can do is meditating, which I guess is basically being mindful. Exactly. Meditation isn't something that I see many people do, but I do feel like it really could help everybody. And I know y'all have heard this in many other videos about meditation, and I do believe that it's true. Although I haven't practiced meditation all too much, whenever I get super overwhelmed by emotion or by thought, I meditate, even for a minute or 2 minutes, 5, and I feel like a big old weight has been lifted off of my chest. The third thing you can do is get more in touch with nature. When I spend more time outside, I feel more reconnected with the times when things felt easier, like just staring at the beauty that's out there and just feeling like we're just a small creature on this rock, and there's all this out there and nothing is that big of a deal, and enjoy your life. And I don't know, I just get this calming feeling being outside, you know, going back to your roots of just being out in nature. Number 4, we have, not number 4 of mindfulness tactics, this is the the next thing, which is lists and whiteboards. Organizing my overwhelming thoughts is the best way I found of at least accomplishing all of my tasks, or at least 90% of them. I'm obsessed with whiteboards. I have a monthly whiteboard, a weekly whiteboard, and then I have like a, I guess kind of like a breakdown whiteboard, which is something I put reminders on, goals, important notes, or things that are coming up, like I don't know, just random stuff like that. And then on top of that, I make daily lists. To-do lists, to-do lists, to-do lists. I do them every single day. Every single day that I wake up, I look at everything that needs to be done while I eat or something like that. Like I just eat or I'm resting. I take just that moment to still not push myself into something. I wait a little bit, look at what needs to be done and exactly what I have to do today. What's the most important stuff? What can I do today? I don't try to completely push myself every single day. Just some days. I'll write down that on a list and I'll try to get all of it done. Most of the time I will leave like 3 things if I can't make it to them, because I don't want to overwhelm myself. That's the whole goal. After that is still there, I just put it onto the next days and it's not a big deal. It's my own personal goal, so why should I be pressuring myself, you know? Now, I don't use the whiteboards every single day, but I do update them like almost on a weekly basis, just to keep up with the months and things that I have coming up, important dates, doctor's appointments, anything like that. I have that all there. Also, I update my goals every single month, because I've noticed that when you put up a goal for yourself, you're way more likely to actually accomplish it rather than just thinking, I want to do this by this month. And it just doesn't happen. So just seeing it every day, oh yeah, I'm supposed to try to do this. I'm supposed to try to make it to this by the end of the month, pushes me to get there. Last but not least is number 5, timers and rest time. I don't know about you guys, but I procrastinate like crazy. So what I do is I tend to time myself, give myself a certain time or up until a certain hour to get a certain task done, so I can push myself to do it in a timely manner that will benefit me.
They have the bomb. I think that is. Nope. You were the last one. The mission. Lost that round, but it's not over yet.
Oh, I lost. I'm done. It's time to get back to it. And then there's the rest. In order to not overstimulate myself or burn myself out, because I do that a lot. So that's when you will see me not post for months, or maybe one video every month for like 3 months or something, is because I burned myself out. And I obviously do that a lot. And I didn't realize that's what it was. But now that I have been taking way more breaks and allowing myself to just, you know what, I'm getting overwhelmed, I'm just going to stop, take care of myself, and I'll come back to this another time when I'm feeling better. But what I do tend to do to also not just completely do that every single time is time my breaks. So if I'm playing games and, you know, I'm like, I need to do this, but, you know, I'm super into this game, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna wait till I do 3 matches. I'm gonna give myself 3 matches. After those are over, I'm done. And that's what I will do. And that typically works for me. I know some people can't hold themselves accountable, so maybe that might not fit with everybody, but if you do tend to hold yourself accountable, that would work great. And that is all my tips. I hope this has helped you in any sort of way. Let me know what is your most annoying habit that you do because of ADHD. Let me know in the comments below. And if any of these helped you, please give me a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I love y'all so much. See you on the next one. Peace.